Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me or are new here, my name's Shaney, and today I'm going to be doing just an energy update for the collective. I used to do these as weekly readings, so what lies ahead for this week, but I found that the themes and the messages that are coming through seem to expand further than the week, so I'm just calling them energy updates that I'm going to do once a week. Sometimes the energy will be specific for that week, but sometimes it will surpass that week as well. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. Actually, before I start, I just think it's really important that I start every video with this, but please only take what resonates with these videos. If anything doesn't resonate with you, leave it with me. If it makes you feel uncomfortable or it just doesn't feel or sit right with you, that's totally fine. Don't take it on board. It's important that with any person that you listen to, any reader, that you use discernment when absorbing the information. Some information will be relevant and will ring true to you. Some information just won't, and it never will. It doesn't mean that information is wrong or not accurate. It just means it's not your truth, and that's completely fine. Everybody has a different truth, and people can have completely opposite truths and they both still be accurate. So yeah, just something to be mindful of. Nobody has all the answers, and myself, like any reader, is just trying to interpret what spirit is giving me. I can interpret wrong sometimes. I'm just using my intuition, and you know, I'm still on my spiritual journey and developing as well. So with that being said, now we can get straight into the reading. So I think I'm going to start by using the Work Your Light deck this morning by Rebecca Campbell. I really love this deck. It's just beautiful. She has lots of beautiful decks. Okay, we have a card out already. Actually, I'm going to pop that in because I wasn't very specific there. Spirit, what messages can you provide for the collective? What messages would you like to share with the collective? Thank you for allowing me to be a divine conduit with your wisdom, love, and healing energy and guidance. What messages would you like to share with the collective? What messages do people need to hear? Oh, okay. We've got 4. I kind of just like to start with 4 usually, personally. Sometimes it's more, depends how I feel. Okay, so I'll start with bottom of the deck energy. We have the Age of Light. You've been training lifetimes for this. I feel like this is really accurate. And for those of you that didn't see my... Is it going to focus? No? Okay. For those of you who didn't see my last video, I mentioned Ascension. And for those of you that don't know what Ascension is, essentially the collective consciousness, the human species, is going through a massive energetic upgrade where our frequencies are raising and they're shifting. So you've been training for lifetimes is actually quite true. Whether you want to believe this or not is completely up to you, but I believe that we reincarnate on Earth multiple times in order to learn lessons and to expand our soul, to grow as a soul. And so you do come back time and time again, and you choose the times that you want to come back and what you want to experience. And everybody who is alive right now on this planet has come back purposefully and very specifically right now because they want to experience this ascension, this upgrade and increasing of the collective consciousness and human frequency from a 3D structure to a 4D, 5D, however high up it wants to go. So this is actually really accurate at the bottom of a deck, and I think it's just there to remind us that there's a lot going on right now, but we need to remember that we are prepared for this. We knew that this was coming, and we do have a lot of help right now available to us to help us with whatever we're going through, whether that be physical resources, people, materials, nature, etc., or spiritual and energetic resources. There are things available for you, and even if you don't feel that that's true, then ask your spirit guides to bring those into you to help you. All you have to do is ask, but spirit can't intervene unless you ask, so you must ask every single day. Spirit guides, angels, please help me with this thing, or please can you come and help? I allow you to come and intervene in my life and provide me with any assistance that you feel is beneficial, whatever feels right for you. But I really love this imagery. I really wish it would just focus for a sec on the card. It just doesn't want to today, so fine. But I just love the colours in this. I think this is quite pertinent right now. It's kind of like a rainbow prism, but I'm really noticing like the green and blue, which actually really resonates with a message that another reader I absolutely love to watch has said. Lee Harris in his October energy update mentioned heart and throat expansions or eruptions, which is, you know, heart being the color of green and blue, the throat represent, wow, I can't speak again this week, the throat represented by the color blue. And I do feel like that's really pertinent. I've noticed around me people being drawn to more colours to support that. I mean, I've got blue under my jumper today. I noticed a girlfriend of mine bought a blue top the other day and I just couldn't stop staring at it. And we might be subconsciously being drawn to the colours green and blue, whether we're wearing them or surrounding ourselves with environments that have got green and blue in them to support the expansions or maybe the eruptions that might be going on for you in those areas. So just something to be mindful of. There is a lot going on right now, and even if it feels like chaos around you, just trust that you came here to experience this and that you can deal with these things. Just ask for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. So just to start the reading off with that reminder. So first card read of the reading is Keepers of the Earth. You're not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. So I'll just show you this card. I wonder if I can oh, there we go. Great. So intuitively looking at this card, I'm instantly drawn to the animals on it. We've got lions, elephants, falcons or eagles. We've also got wolves. We also start with like a younger woman at the bottom and then sort of an older woman at the top. It almost looks like she's got wings. And I'm thinking, I don't know, it feels quite like shamanic, this card almost. I'm trying to get it to refocus again. Do you see what I'm saying with the animals? And then you've got the younger woman and the older woman. This is feeling like it's representing the growth in terms of the younger woman and the older woman. You know, you get the maiden, the crone, and I can't remember what the third one is now, representing like the divine feminine archetypes. But it's also showing the growth, and the elder woman is also like, you know, it could be your higher self, but it also could be your ancestors and your elders that might be guiding you right now. Reminding you that you're not alone again. You are prepared for this and you do have help, which is exactly what I just said. But you also have help in the form of animals. You might find that maybe your pets are being drawn to you more at this time, or maybe they're giving you more comfort. I mean, I've certainly observed it in my dog. He just comes for cuddles all the time. If I'm gonna take a nap, he literally jumps straight, literally on top of me and will snuggle in so close to come and nap with me. He's been very, very affectionate. So you might notice that your animals are perhaps doing the same thing. They're also trying to support you, and animals are really grounding and help you get in touch with your inner child as well. So animals are just pure love frequency. So again, make use of the resources that you've got around you. Observe what's around you and what's drawing close to you. I'm also hearing the natural world. There's something about the natural world is there to help you as well. Trees, the ocean, a lake, a pond, just a field, anything natural has a very grounding frequency and can help you with whatever you're dealing with. Something that I actually quite like to do if I've got a lot going on in my mind, or I'm feeling stressed or whatever, I'll go for walks. I have lots of greenery around me, which I'm really lucky. I'll go for walks and I'll just talk to nature. I'll just talk it out. People probably think I'm crazy, but like it actually helps to vocalize, and I usually have a lot of clarity and insight when I'm doing that, even though nobody's responding to me, at least not on a level that I'm used to. Nature is responding to you in an energetic way. So make use of what you've got around you. I'm also seeing the moons here as well. You can harness the moon, the moon's energy, even though things might seem, or things are like miles and miles and miles away from you, doesn't mean you can't harness its energy. Unless you're somebody who is in tune with energy and is super sensitive, don't underestimate that something can only kick out so much energy. You'd be surprised how much power certain things have. So utilize the resources that you've got around you to help you with whatever you're going through right now. If you're going through a turbulent time, ask for help from your spirit guides, ask for help from animal guides, spirit animals, nature, whatever it is. Utilize anything around you, because actually there is a lot around us that can help us. We just need to open our awareness to see what it is. And even if it's something, it might be something that's actually beyond your knowledge or consciousness right now, like you think, well, how on earth would that help me? But if things are presenting themselves to you, or you're being drawn to certain things, whether it be going out for a walk, whether it be withdrawing from television, whether it be I don't know, you start collecting mushrooms or something, like foraging mushrooms or wild berries, I don't know, whatever it is that you feel guided to do, trust it and don't think, well, how is that helping me? Because your body is very, very, very clever and intelligent, separate from your mind. And if it's pulling you and leading you somewhere, trust that it's for a reason. So then we move on to deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held, which I also feel is very pertinent at the moment. So I'll just focus on this. Retreat, rest, be held. Now this imagery is super, super serene. It actually, I don't know why, I want to say it looks like she's on the moon, but there's almost like a moon in the background here, or whether that be another planet. The water, there's something around the water again. I think I mentioned this in I think I had something around water in last week's reading as well. Okay, Spirit is showing me when you have something really hot, imagine like you've got a hot coal or something, or anything, or a hot pan, when you pour cool water on it and you get that steam and it's like that release, and it instantly, like the temperature instantly draws down. I'm seeing, okay, so the water for us is like a cooling element for maybe a lot of the things that are going on inside us. When I say an inner fire, it's not, inner fire is great, that can be passion, creativity, motivation, but also too much inner fire can be turmoil, it can be stress, it can be anxiety. There is a balance. So they're showing me the water, and you working with water as a way to sort of cool us down if we're feeling like it's getting too hot in the room, so to speak. If you're getting angry, hot-headed, stressed, whatever it is, if you feel like things are rising to too much pressure, too much of a point, the water element will help balance us, cool us down, bring us back down. I do think there's something in there around temperature as well, because I've observed, which is really uncommon for me, and this might just be a personal thing, but if it relates to you, then great, but I feel like I will share it, because oftentimes the things that we experience are happening around us, and they're Spirit's way of communicating things. But my body temperature has changed, or at least the way I feel my body temperature has changed. I'm not usually somebody who gets hot when I sleep. I'm usually quite a cold person, actually. I tend to be more on the cold side, go for blankets, extra layers, etc. But recently, when I've been going to sleep, I've been hot, and I'm not a hot person. Like in the summer, when it's obviously hot, fine, but otherwise I'm not. And I've been really warm, like even last night I was hot. I got into bed and I was just like hot, and I hadn't had a bath or anything before I got into bed, which can sometimes make you feel that way. So there's something around our temperatures are also rising. Okay, they're saying that with the energy that we're receiving, okay, so as our frequencies are increasing and we're receiving lots of energy, which is helping to increase our vibration, obviously an increase on vibration, anyone who studies science would know, when vibrations are increased, the speed of things move. When things move faster, they create more friction, can create more heat. So there's something around keeping that cooling element, which is also associated to grounding what we're receiving to keep it cooled down. So on that note, the second note, again, the moon I feel like is pertinent. I think there's a moon coming next week, or is it next week? When is the next moon? Let me check. Because we had a new moon last Monday, October 9th, Sunday. This week, okay, so there's a moon this week, so perhaps there's something about the moon. I'm looking at the moon and it's giving me the same cooling vibes that I get when I think of water, by the way. So I just looked at the clock and it was the recording time, and it was 15:15 as well, so we'll look up that in a second. But there's something around the moon also helping to cool us down. So something around the full moon, I'm not really getting much more else in that other than I'm getting that same cooling feeling. So something around the moon that can help cool us down and actually calm us as well. There's also in this card, she's sort of almost like doing an offering to nature. She's got flowers and she looks like she's just doing an offering of some kind, which I think is about, again, honouring those natural cycles and honouring how you feel. Which, given that the card is called Deep Replenishment, Retreat, Rest, Be Held, we need to fill our own, okay, the water thing again, we need to fill our own cup up. We might be getting depleted quicker than we usually would, or we find things are evaporating our water. I'm just seeing that steam again, that sort of imagery. So there's a need to really refill our own cup up, and it might be that the way that we used to fill our cup up doesn't fill us up in the same way anymore, or that we need to try different things to fill us up, and you might be already being guided to what those are. Don't worry, don't judge them if you notice that you're doing things differently or you're not. My recording just decided to stop then. Okay, that's a message. The fact that my recording just decided to stop then, that's that whole, you know, like put pause on, put the brakes on. If things around you aren't moving at a momentum that you'd like, or you seem to keep getting roadblocks and you keep having to stop, trust that they're there on purpose as like pit stops for you to rest and replenish your energy so that you can keep going. The universe is massively supporting us right now, and it might seem like things aren't flowing or things are going wrong because the way that they used to work is different now, that they might be more stop and starty, that I don't know what else to explain other than that analogy I just had, but you need to trust that the universe is doing this on purpose, because there's a level of you that's operating different now, and you may not be aware of it yet, but spirit already is, and it's the universe is trying to help. So listen to that, take time for yourself and allow yourself to rest. Again, it's that asking for help if you need it. Nourish yourself, fill your own cup. Don't worry about societal norms, and if you feel like you need to rest more than you usually would, and if you think people are going to think you're lazy, don't worry about that. Stop putting your energy outwards, because again, that's pouring out of your cup. Bring it back in, okay? Nothing is more important than feeling good in your own body and in your own mind, so let that always be your main focus. We then have the Priestess card. How are you being called to step up and lead? Excuse me. My dog's just completely making a mess. Are you okay there? Okay, sorry, excuse me. How are you being called to step up and lead? I'm just going to show you the card. Is it even focusing? There we go. How are you being called to step up and lead? This card is interesting. I paused because the message didn't instantly jump out at me there. I read cards intuitively, and usually when I look at cards, instantly things kind of pop out at me. And I'm looking at this one and I'm almost getting like a brick wall with it, but at the same time, do you know what's do you know what I think it is? It's almost like I can't read this because there's an energy message here that actually I'm not on a frequency to receive yet. For some reason, not for some reason, I mean that's just completely normal, but what I am drawn to on the card is like the energy points. So both the hands have lights on them, and so does like the sacral center has like a light on it. So there's something, okay, I'm hearing meditation. There's something around meditating to help us. Okay, Spirit wants us to meditate in order to raise our frequency. When we're talking about stepping up and leading, they're talking energetically leading. When you start to nourish yourself and you start to take care of yourself, and when you do that, you do raise your vibration. When you feel good in yourself, feeling good is as a high vibration, and so you raise your vibration. When you raise your vibration, you're attracting more things of like vibration. They make you feel better. It's almost like a positive feedback cycle, as is feeling negative is like a negative feedback cycle. So the more positive you feel, the more positive things happen to make you feel more positive, but also in the reverse. There's also something in the intuition here. So I mentioned that I couldn't read the card for a second because it felt like just a brick wall. So I just allowed whatever came to me first for me to focus on it. And as I allowed my intuition to lead me, which was, okay, well, I'm being focused here on the hands. My intuition is drawing my attention to the light on the hands and things like that. I then got more messages. I almost got breadcrumbs to what this card was trying to tell me. Now, expand that out into real life. There might be something that you're trying to do or something that you'd help with. I don't know, anything. And you might feel like you're hitting a brick wall. Maybe you're expecting to know everything all up front, but sometimes, well, what I'm getting from spirit is that actually it's going to be more breadcrumby. Okay, you can't see you can't see what to do, you can't see where to go. You almost got like this brick wall in front of you and you're like, I literally don't have a clue. Just go with the first thing that takes your focus, even if it's like, well, I mean, that's not going to get everything done. That's like 1% of the whole thing. Trust it, because then the breadcrumbs will lead you where you need to go and things will come in afterwards. And this is that thing about allowing your intuition to lead, but also energetically, when we start feeling good and we start raising our frequency, we start pioneering a higher frequency energy for others to also not only absorb, absorb is the wrong word, sorry, how do I word this? When you're with someone, your frequencies do two things. Either the person with the higher frequency will drop their frequency to the frequency of the other person, or if that person in the higher frequency has strong boundaries and is able to maintain it, the person in the lower frequency may shift up. If that doesn't happen, you'll find there's a clash and a separation. So either the frequencies need to align somehow, so your frequencies will move slightly to meet each other in the middle, or you'll find there's almost a repelling nature, or there is a clash, or you won't mesh properly, and only one of you might feel that, or both of you might. But that thing of, if you can raise your energy, your frequency, and stand strong in it with strong boundaries, when you communicate with other people, you actually can raise their vibration just by being around them, by maintaining yourself as a high frequency. It's like a positive influence on those around you. Your frequency and your energy can influence theirs. So it's leading energetically in an energetic field, leading by taking care of yourself and helping shape what like the new world looks like. And I'm not talking the new world like how people speak about the new norm after COVID. I'm talking about there's massive societal shifts coming, and there are people who are going to pioneer these shifts. They're quite different to how we are right now, and that being having a focus on rest and replenishment and actually focusing on the self. I do feel as a human collective there's a lot of work to be done on resting and replenishing, because we've been very, very depleted and very, very drained, and our lifestyles do not support our bodies and our energies. They really don't. Our lifestyles are actually relatively new. The way we've been operating has really only been the last sort of 100 years or so, and it's getting more and more advanced, and the pressure's getting more and more, and it's starting to shift already. So how are you being called to step up and lead is referring to anything in your life. It doesn't mean in your career, and you might be in a leading position in your career, and that might be really fantastic, but there are maybe other ways that you're being called to step up and lead. Perhaps I don't know, perhaps there's like issues going on and you decide to actually make resolving those issues a priority, and by focusing on yourself and getting yourself in a place where you feel better, you're actually then inspiring others to go, actually, you look like you're doing really well, and actually that's really good what you're doing. I think I'm going to go do that as well. It's literally as simple as that. As simple as that. Lead, allow your heart and your intuition to lead you, and that will inspire other people to also make positive actions in their life. Also, just sorry, just before I move on to the next card, there's something in this card as well. It's almost like she's in sort of ancient Egypt behind her, or at least that's what it looks like to me. She's somewhere ancient, and there's something around I'm hearing ancient wisdom. Also with this, she's got like a snake sort of here on her head. Ancient wisdom is what I'm hearing. Maybe that stuff's coming back. I did mention something about sort of going back to our roots and how we used to do things in my last video, and it seems to be coming up again here. Maybe we're going to start remembering like our own ancient wisdom. As I said, most of us have probably had many lives. Not all, some people can be new souls, but most of us have had many lives, and there'll be wisdom from those lives that we don't remember when we come back here. I mean, that's purposeful, but we're going to start remembering these things. The next card we have is don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? And now when I just turned it over, I actually just turned it over, and I don't know if I placed it upside down, but when I looked at it, it was upside down. So just so you can see that. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Now that was upside down, and I feel like that's relevant. Why were you upside down? Okay, simply, when you look at this card, there's almost like this triangular arrow here. When it's upside down, it's like this. When you dim your light to fit in, your energy drains out of you. Your energy drains out of you. But when you allow yourself to be who you are, your energy expands that way. It expands up. It's like that connection with spirit. When you allow yourself, when you don't dim to fit in and you allow yourself to just be authentically you, you enhance this connection to spirit. You allow your energy to go, I'm saying go up, I'm trying to just use the words that match the imagery that's on this card, but your frequency expands. It's strange. I wonder if the imagery of this card is kind of strange actually. I'm trying to understand why there's 3 people. Okay, it's expansion. When you allow yourself to walk in full alignment and you don't dim to fit in, you just allow yourself to be who you are, your energy expands. Which is kind of what I just said, that's why the 3 people are there. She's also doing this in the card. She's not using her eyes. And I feel like that's not... It's a reminder to allow yourself to be led by the heart, not by how things look. Or how maybe... There's something around here about being perceived, how people perceive you. Like, it's almost like it's none of your business. How people perceive me is none of my business. I don't know if that's what I'm getting. And the eye in there is almost like I don't know if you can see that there's an eye there, which is like your third eye. Again, listening to your intuition, listening to your heart, listening to your intuition, allowing that to lead you, like I just said, and allowing yourself to just be who you are, trusting in your own uniqueness and allowing that to bring you to wherever it is that you need to go. That's quite interesting. Don't dim your light to fit in. I kind of want to just pull a few different cards just for like a bit more depth. I'm just going to pull some cards from the Denise Linn Sacred Destiny Oracle, which is also a really lovely deck. Spirit, can you give us any further information or any clarity? Can you add to this? I will look up the 1515. I'm aware I said I was going to, and then I kind of skipped. I've got a bit of a sieve brain. It's like there's only so much stuff I can hold in my brain. We've got the Simplicity card, which is literally just, I mean, the imagery is simple. It's just a feather in the sky. And the minute I'm seeing this as weightless, being light as a feather, simplicity. Keep your life simple so that you can move freely, so that you are light as a feather. The more complications and complexities you have in your life, the more it actually weighs on you, because you have to think about them more. They take more work. Make life simple. I think we're starting to move back into simpler times, because we're not in simple times. Our lives are very complicated. Everything is complicated. Technology, in an effort to make things simple, can also be very complicated. When it doesn't work, it's complicated. simple would be we look after ourselves, we nourish ourselves, we enjoy our lives, and we're not greedy. We work to have as much money as we need just to do what we want to do, not so we can have to, I don't know, flex on Instagram or, you know, keep up with the Jonesies or whatever it is. We need to get back to simplicity. If you're not sure what to do and you're feeling overwhelmed, or maybe your life just feels a bit meh, or things just aren't going how you'd like it to go, or maybe you're just feeling lost, you feel okay but you just feel a bit lost, simplify things. Shed anything that is not actually in alignment with who you are. Shed anything that dims your light. Jobs, habits, people, thought patterns, whatever that might be for you. Get simple, lighten your load is what I'm hearing. Is there any other messages for clarification? Thank you. Okay, we've got the abundance card. We've also got courage. So abundance. Abundance. I'm hearing spiritual abundance. This picture is basically just a field full of flowers. That nature element again. Okay, abundance is our nature. Abundance is our natural state of being. If we're not abundant and we don't feel abundant and we're not living abundant lives, that's due to programming and conditioning, because our nature is to be abundant, and that's what they want us to remember. We are waking up to that is what I'm hearing. We're remembering, we're awakening our abundant natures. And on that, about not dimming your light to fit in, if you think about nature, nature grows how nature wants to grow. It doesn't worry about all the other plants around it. It just grows as it wants to grow. No plant is the same. Some plants have imperfections. They're not imperfections, they're just uniqueness to that plant. But they don't care. And actually, like, think about wildflowers. They just grow whichever way they want to grow. They're wild. They're not tamed and perfected and, you know, groomed in a certain way. They're just wild and they're beautiful. Like, nature is beautiful and it doesn't try to be beautiful, it just is what it is. And that's what we need to remember. We also have courage. I don't know why I'm hearing the word like inner storms with this. I mean, obviously the imagery kind of looks like a stormy, rocky sea. But you've also got this sort of rainbow light going on here. Courage. And I was just about to place that above the don't dim to fit in, but okay, it's actually saying about having the courage to not change who you are and to actually just be what's authentic to you. It takes courage. It can be scary thinking that people won't accept you the way you are, or that you be a certain way to keep the peace, but actually that's not who you are. You're not responsible for other people's feelings. You're not responsible for other people. Obviously, if you're a parent, you have levels of responsibility, but you know, if you're surrounded by people who are irresponsible and you feel it's your job to make sure that they're responsible, that's not your job. If they get angry because their life starts falling apart because they're irresponsible and they sort of look to you because you usually take care of them, you know, if they're an adult, their job is to look after themselves. That's not your responsibility. And so by having the courage to be yourself and actually replenish your own cup and to nourish yourself and stop putting energy outside of yourself, that can be scary. There are obviously subtler versions of that where, you know, maybe you've got interests that your friends don't know about and you don't want to tell them because maybe you think they'll think it's, I don't know, nerdy or whatever. But have the courage to be yourself, because the more that you dim your light to fit in, you're going to start to create this inner turbulence and it's going to get hard to ignore. Some people might be being called to travel, moving. There's like a map also. I don't know if you can, this probably can't see it. There's almost like a map overlay to this. I think Sicily. Yeah, people might be being called to travel, moving. Okay, people are going to be moving to places that are in alignment with who they are. Their energy are going to be called to places of like energy. It seems to cut out after about 16 minutes of recording. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, people are going to be moving. There are certain countries have a frequency and an energy as well. Towns, locations, places have an energy and a frequency, and there may be places that your energy is being called to because that place might need your energy as well. So if you're being called to travel, if you're being called to move, follow that. Follow that calling. It's important. I might also just pull, I don't know why, I haven't used this in a while, but I want to use the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards. Okay, this card just fell out the deck. It just got caught in the top of the lid, but just I'll read it anyway. We've got easy does it. There's no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. Again, we've got that rainbow light going on. There's been a few cards that have had a sort of this first card again. You sort of have that rainbow prism. So there's something about colours and the light. The light's different, the light's changed. And there's something in the light that's helping to nourish us and raise our vibration. Which is why we need to get outside every day. Get in the sunlight. Yeah, okay. But this is just an echo of one, simplicity. Easy does it, keep it simple. And also the rest, deep replenishment, rest, retreat, be held. They're all echoing a similar message. Hey Spirit, any guidance that you can give us? I just want to pull one more. I only want 2 out of this one. Oh, okay, I've just dropped 2, so 2 more then. Fine. Oh, that's weird. That's really weird. I just left 2 in the bottom of the pack as well. Okay, it's fine. They didn't. I really don't like it when this happens because I'm like, do I read all of them or do I not? I'll touch on them. Right. First one that came out, we had Pele, Divine Passion. I love this card. I'm actually a bit obsessed with this card. There's something about the artwork that just like, I don't know, I'm obsessed. I love it. It's just stunning. I almost want a big poster of it on my wall. For me, I look at it and it screams divine feminine, like in her power, like in front of like an exploding volcano, like half naked, just like dancing. I don't know, I fucking love it. The card reads, be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? I think this is that don't dim to fit in thing. It's listen to yourself. Where are you actually being called? Like, what do you actually want to do? Get it back in alignment with yourself. There's that volcano energy as well, about the heat causing explosions, which is why I think I was showing the water cooling us down at the beginning. Things are coming to a head, things that you've suppressed that have been maybe causing issues in your life or making you live on autopilot and that maybe have been taking you down a path that you're not meant to be on. They're coming to a head now for you to deal with them. And this woman's almost dancing in front of the volcano. It's about celebrating and embracing and accepting some of these eruptions and explosions that might be coming up, because they're coming up for you to give them love. These areas or these things that, how do I explain it? If there are reasons or things that are making you explode, perhaps they're feelings or insecurities or fears, issues, doubts that are sort of really erupting. They're erupting so that you can give them love, you can nourish them, and that you can embrace them and embody them as part of who you are. They're not there to be neglected anymore. You need to integrate and embody them. We also have, that's nice, we have Kuan Yin, which is compassion. Release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. I feel like this is about having compassion for yourself with everything that's going on right now, and you might be feeling tumultuous and explosive and off balance and off kilter and maybe low. It's just to have compassion for yourself. You are growing and there is a lot going on right now, so try to make positive changes, but listen to your body, take rest and nourish. My battery is flashing, so I'll do this speedy. We've also got Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. Love yourself, others and every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. I mean, it's almost the same. Okay, we didn't get to finish that. What I was saying, battery's back. Unconditional love, yeah, it's almost the same as what I was just saying with the compassion card. And actually, if you look at them, the imagery is kind of similar. They're kind of both holding something in their hands. Release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that's within everyone. Love yourself and others in every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. Again, it's that having, yeah, being kind to yourself with everything that's going on right now. So if you are feeling really off balance and off kilter, and there are lots of things coming up to show you that they need some love and that they can't be suppressed or hidden anymore, be kind to yourself. You might find that you're extra exhausted than usual because things are coming up for review. That's fine. Again, remember to nourish yourself, deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. I will just show you the two cards that kind of accidentally slipped themselves out of the deck, which was a transformation card and a purification card. Again, we've got those rainbow colours. There's something about rainbow energy, colours, the light. But we are going through a purification because we can't, our frequencies can't raise and increase with things being suppressed and hidden. The more that we integrate every single part of ourselves and we don't dim parts of ourselves, whether that's dimming parts of ourselves that we don't like, so we hide them from ourselves, pretend like we don't have those parts of us. But they're coming up to be purified, and by purified, I mean they're coming up to be integrated. Purification isn't to rid parts of yourself, it's to love them and to integrate them and to nurture them. Oftentimes, if there are parts of yourself that you don't like for whatever reason, or if you've had traumatic experiences and things like that, they come up to be loved so that you can love yourself better and embody them. Actually separating them out doesn't, they're part of you. You can't just get rid of them. Loving them and integrating them is what you need to do. Also notice that she's got the cup that's overflowing here. Again, filling up your cup. We're being purified so that our cups can start to be replenished. We're being given healing so that we can refill our cup. And also then the transformation card. I'll just read what it says on them. You're experiencing enormous change right now, which brings great blessings. Which, you know, isn't that the truth? So just be mindful, there is a lot going on. It's very similar energy to last week still, around sort of simplifying, rest and retreat, honouring who you are, walking in your own light. There's definitely more of an emphasis this week on balance is the wrong word. I have no words for it right now. I have all the words and so therefore I can't say any words. Again, I just need to simplify. There's an emphasis this week on being kind to yourself. Things are coming up for review. Things may be coming up to the surface that you've pushed down for a long time, but the volcano's erupting now, and it's about being compassionate, having love for yourself, nourishing yourself, retreating and resting, having courage to say, no, I need to rest, actually I can't do this anymore, and having the courage to be yourselves, whether it be to everyone else or to acknowledge who you really are. Be gentle, there is a lot going on, guys, but I do think this was a nice reading. Actually, I feel reading this like, and I've been getting this anyway myself, but like a almost like an exhaustion in my chest. You know, like if you've been for a run and you're really, like your heart's been like pounding and you get like this, I can't explain it, this sort of feeling in your chest. That's what I have here, and it feels like the collective is really quite tired. Not everyone, some people might not be feeling that at all, but there will be a lot of people that are, and it's okay. And just take care of yourself is all I can really just push. Take care of yourself. There's a lot going on, as I said. Things will get better. We're just in a period right now of like retreat and rest, and actually it goes really wonderful with the season of autumn. All of nature is going to start to retreat and rest. The leaves are going to come off, they're going to simplify and come down to their bare bones, and they're going to hibernate and come inwards for, you know, 2 seasons. So it's time for us to do the same. Let's get back into sync with nature. Nature's resting, why don't we do the same? The days are getting shorter. There, in theory, means we should be doing less if we're listening to our circadian rhythm. I know that's not necessarily practical with our current society and the way that we live, but that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. So as much as you can, honour your needs, and do what you need to do to rest. Take as much time as you can and try and simplify and get back in touch with nature as much as you can. Thank you so much for tuning in for this week's reading. Sorry, I was a bit bitty with my camera. Hopefully I can use my other camera next week. It's just that battery was also dead. Obviously good preparation from me this week. But have a wonderful week, and if anyone ever has any questions, please just pop them in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer all of them, or you can find me on Instagram and send me messages on there. My Instagram's just my name, @cheneyparsons. And yeah, I will see you next week for another update.